What's up, guys? Back here with another video. I wanted to get a before video of my next project. Here we go. I picked up a Gheenoe off Facebook Market. Haven't done a single thing to it yet. Haven't even washed it, as you can see. So in my area where I'm at, Ghenoes are very nice because there's some horsepower limits and some real shallow water, so you couldn't even get a big boat in there if you tried. But be doing some saltwater fishing. It's getting on the end of duck season right now, but next season be using this for some duck hunting and possibly some turkey hunting here in the spring. I'll start back here. It came with this old Evinrude 8 horsepower little tiller, but that is not my primary outboard for this thing. I actually already picked up this guy right here, Mercury 9.9. Took it out for 2 test rides so far. I have an oil leak in that I gotta figure out. I'm guessing it's a gasket somewhere in the lower unit there. I'll get this running hopefully, and then probably try and sell it whether or not I get it running. The only thing I had to do so far was replace this gas line because the other one was pretty old, and also the connection doesn't fit the Merc. Came with a 3-gallon gas tank, tiller handle extension, just super nice. This extends pretty far, which is nice. I can stand up here and hold the handle and steer, so that's pretty sweet. The guy that had it before me did some work himself, so he built out a couple of fiberglass decks. Pretty sure this was a Highsider, so he removed the seats, the seat in the back, the seat in the middle, and then the seat in the front he turned into a deck as well, so I'll go over that in a second. But it's pretty sweet. He did a pretty good job. This thing's real stable. It's got a nice little compartment under there, drainage hole down there. I do wish, so on my 2 test drives that I've taken it on, I do wish it ended right about here so that you can kind of steer more comfortably, because if I stand over here, that's pretty far from the outboard, so that's my only thing, but it's definitely doable. And then when you're fishing and stuff, this is super nice to have a big one. Compartment under that backside too. I'm gonna see if I can find a lower profile gas tank so I can just kind of slip it under there. Big open space in the middle here. Didn't really notice any flex or anything. I think he reinforced this floor. He didn't make it a flat floor, but it's definitely reinforced, because I can even see this side is a little bit higher up than that side. Came with the paddle, this anchor spike, and then this front deck and this front compartment. So came with a nice little hatch here, and then came with some safety gear, some life jackets, and then all the necessary Coast Guard required safety gear, whistles, stuff. And then it's got this another dry box right inside there, which is super nice. I'll probably have the registration and all that in there. It's pretty deep in there. Cut pretty much goes all the way to the front of the seat right here, so that's sweet. More life jackets. Like I said, there's water in there right now, but it's actually watertight if I get this seal. It comes with the front nav lights. Haven't tested them out yet. I'm gonna be doing all the electrical and stuff for that. It's got a nice little nose cap, solid aluminum nose cap, which is cool. And that pretty much covers the Gheenoe itself. So we'll go over the trailer here, and then I'll kind of tell you what my preliminary plans are. The trailer's in pretty good shape. I need to put new lights on it, rewire it and everything. It's got pretty big tires. Bunks are okay. I'm definitely gonna replace these. I don't know if you can see under there, but see if I can adjust the brightness real quick. They're a little rusted out, so I'm gonna replace those. I'm probably also gonna lower them a little bit. Same old, same old. The fenders got some rust, but they're really solid, so I'll probably just leave those. Same thing over here, definitely some rust. But other than that, man, this trailer's super solid. I drove it home 2.5 hours, so felt great behind the truck. Okay, so first things first, gotta clean it out, obviously. and we're gonna paint the inside like a tan, and then the outside I think we're gonna do a dark green. And then I will probably do like a splatter, like a black splatter on the inside too, just to kind of make the fiberglass so you just notice the imperfections less. I'll probably put some sea deck or marine mat or something on the decks, but I'll leave this just the fiberglass and gel coat so it's easier to clean. We'll have crab traps, we'll have ducks, we'll have fish in there, and leave it relatively open and clean so it's easier to just hose off. I'm going to do a grab bar with a cooler slot, and that cooler is going to be the seat. Sea deck the front. That hatch is going to stay. I just need to get a new bulb seal for it. I'll hook up the wiring. I will probably end up doing a trolling motor. I was kind of unsure of that. I'll probably add some sort of anchor spike on the back side as well as on the front side. I'm going to do a control panel, probably like somewhere right here, and that'll control all the lighting. I might do some gunna lights, or I might just do a couple of like puck lights on the sides or in the front or something. I'm going to do a little bilge pump back here. You can already see it's already piped for it. I may do like a little polling platform situation back here, like right here at the very end, but I'm undecided on that. I probably will end up doing something like that because this is such a big deck that like there's a big spot to stand even with a polling platform, so I could like sit here and drive and also have a polling platform, but we'll see. That's probably further down the line. Big things right now are gotta clean it up, as you can tell, paint it, and then I'll probably do that grab bar first. So yeah, this is how it stands right now. Totally usable right now, which is great. And I'll be definitely filming some more videos on it. It won't just be a strictly fishing channel. I'm interested in too many things for that. Let me know if there's anything else that I should consider doing. There's like unlimited possibilities with these things, and I'm really looking forward to using this because this thing is sweet. I knocked out the nose cap in the navigation lights. I just hit it with a wire brush, wiped it down, sprayed it with some aluminum primer. Did that with both of these, and then I just finished it off with the high gloss enamel. So I actually have the aluminum rub rails on this one. So I'm going to rough it up a little bit. I'll wipe it down with some acetone, prime, and paint. Alright, little progress update here. So I got the rails painted black. If I was keeping it a light color, like a blue or a lighter like white or something, I probably would have kept the aluminum. So I think that looks pretty cool. Hopefully the paint holds up. Super easy to retouch up if I ever need to, so I'm not super worried about it. The reason also that I didn't take these off, which is the better way to do it for sure, is because basically all of the rivets were still intact. So I only had to replace a couple on this side and a couple on this side. If they weren't intact and I was having to replace a bunch of them, I would have just pulled these off, put them on some sawhorses and painted them like that, so I could like really get a good coat and obviously not have all this overspray. But this is all going to get sanded down and repainted anyways. So back with another update. So I'm going to take you through everything I've done since the last time I filmed, I guess. So one of the main things I did was I used that Total Boat fairing compound. This was really rough and like super lumpy and uneven, so I faired out this whole thing. So now it's relatively flat. Touched up a couple of other things. I primed all the bare fiberglass spots, faired some other spots, did some stuff on the outside. But yeah, I got it all pretty much primed, vacuumed, wiped down. I went over the boat with this fairing compound in a couple of spots. There was a patch done here that I just smoothed out and got it looking nicer and smoother. Did a couple of other spots around, like on the nose, pulled off the letters, I pulled off the side plate, patched up the holes there. I think I'm gonna do a sticker instead of the actual plate. Sanded down the whole boat, get it dried off and stuff, and then I'm gonna paint, and I'll show you the paint. I'm gonna do, I thought about spraying it, but I think that's gonna waste too much paint. I think I'm gonna roll and tip. So I'll have like my foam roller and I'll go over the boat and then I'll use a brush and kind of smooth out the roller lines. Pretty basic. But yeah, I'm gonna get her wiped down, degreased, and then start painting her. All right, so this is the paint I'm going with. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going for like a deep forest green, kind of OD green sort of color, which is actually really hard to find. Most paints are specifically for aluminum boats, which I'm sure you could use for this, but I'm just gonna go with this one and see how it looks. All right, I got the first coat on. This was actually a little bit trickier to work with than I anticipated. Dries really fast. I think it even says like quick drying paint. So like when I would roll it on, by the time that I could come back with the brush, which I just gave up doing, it was already tacky. So it left like these thick brush streaks. Like, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see that. Because it wasn't still pretty wet when I would come back and try to brush it out. I think what I might do is, once this dries tomorrow, hit it with a sand, like a light sand, to smooth everything out. I guess I'll see how it like dries completely, but smooth everything out and then spray it with a second coat. The color is actually much better than I thought it was going to be. So from the pictures, it looked like it was going to be more of like an army green, but this is like a dark OD green like I was looking for. So pretty happy with that. I'm definitely going to hit it with another coat and then start painting the inside. All right, so I didn't really film all this because it's pretty straightforward, but painting the inside right now. I'll show you my paint. So I'm going with this Hunter Specialties. It's called Marsh Grass, and it's like this tan FDE color. And then I really wanted the splatter to kind of just like hide the unevenness of the fiberglass. And so I'm using the Rust-Oleum marble. What I'm doing is I'm painting, and then this paint dries pretty quick. So before it gets all the way dry, when it's still tacky, I'm going over and spraying my marbling so that it kind of sets into the paint. So it's very, very easy. I'll show you a little bit here on the back. I just painted the back. You can kind of see it's still a little bit wet, but it's super easy. You just like do random motions and it sprays this nice splatter. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, pretty easy. This is how it turned out. That splatter paint was super easy to use. Really changes how it looks. Really hides all the imperfections of the fiberglass. Pretty happy with how both of these colors turned out. So I just used the one can, covered everything. I even put 2 coats on most of it, and then 2 cans of this. There's like a can and a half actually for all the exterior. What is up? We are done. Well, we're like 90% of the way done with the Gheenoe build here. So I figured it's a good time to give you a little bit of a walkthrough of everything that I've done since I last filmed, and then finish off this video with just how I kind of got it set up. It's been out a lot already, has caught a lot of fish already, and I'm really enjoying it. So let me show you what I got going on. All right, let's start at the back with what's powering it. We went with a Mercury 9.9. We had previous bad experience, my wife and I, with some outboards, so we just bit the bullet, went with a new one. Definitely the biggest expense. If I wanted to dive more into outboards and how to fix them and everything, I would probably just look on Facebook Market, but I didn't really want to do that. But this one's nice, super fancy. It's got electric start, which is cool. Never had that. Got the little starter battery there. Scepter 3-gallon low profile gas tank, which was perfect because it fit right under there. I'll link everything that I talk about below. I haven't done the electrical on it, so that's why I say 90% done. I still need to get a secondary battery, hook up my bilge pump, which hasn't been an issue really at all, but you know, if you get caught in the rain or something, at least it makes it a little easier. Or if you get water over the sides for whatever reason. And then, so I haven't done my nav lights or anything, but when I get that battery, I am gonna put it up here in the front. So I'm still using this tiller handle. I'm gonna probably make my own out of some PVC pipe. This is plastic and this is aluminum, so this is like a real flexing point. It can get kind of sketchy. This is exactly how I have it trailered when I'm not using it. I accidentally bent that back, but redid all the trailer hardware. Bunks were in good shape, so I just wrapped them again. This is my anchor pole. This was, the fiberglass was poking through, so I just put some heat shrink wrap on it, which is nice because now it's very comfortable to use. Super easy, doesn't stab your hands, get fiberglass in your hands. Got just a net under there, and then I usually keep my tackle bag under there as well. And then let's move to the grab bar. So I didn't show this install, but I'll explain what I did. Got this off eBay. It's a cooler grab bar, and it came in like a flat powder coated gray, and I just painted it black, threw some tan paracord on there to protect the paint. On the back here I have a 6-liter Yeti sidekick, which has been awesome. It's perfect for your phone, your keys, your wallet, whatever. Got some Robo cups on there. These have been awesome. They're cup holders and rod holders. I think I might get another pair of those, but those are great. I picked up a cushion from Custom Gheenoe. I'm close enough that I could just drive over there, but they'll ship these to you, so you can order those online. Let me go to the other side. And then for my center seat slash platform slash dry storage slash cold storage, I have a Yeti 45. If I'm planning on keeping some fish, I'll throw some ice in there. My wife's with me, that's her seat. And then it's actually the tallest point of the boat, if you can tell. So I fish off the top of this a lot. You can also get a cushion for it. The lady that makes these cushions for Custom Gheenoe will actually make you one to fit whatever you want. I don't think I'm gonna end up doing that just because I stand up here a lot. So I don't really feel like I need it. So I keep my rods down here. I don't have anything to secure them to the side or anything. I haven't quite figured out something, but this actually works pretty well. So I don't know that I really need anything else. I've considered the, the fold away rod holders, but never actually have done anything. And then the anchor pole just sits perfectly there. And I'll show you the rod grommets. So these are two actually electrical grommets. I believe they're 2-inch. If I could do one thing different, I would do bigger ones. So I'll go slightly bigger, maybe like a 3-inch, just because I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit tight with the eyelets to get them in and out of there. So that's one thing that I would change. And then for the tubes on the inside, you can definitely just use like a PVC pipe, heat it up, flare the end of it, but they actually make golf bag club separators that are like long tubes, and they're pre-flared already. And I think it's probably cheaper than even buying like a stick of PVC. So that's what I went with. That's what's in there. I'll link that below. So up front I did the fish ruler. I ended up doing it up top because that just makes way more sense. You just lay the fish down. It's a lot easier than putting it down here. And then I wanted to keep it out of the way of the rod grommets. I haven't done any C-deck on the platforms yet. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to. It would be nice, just like anti-fatigue, just from standing up there all day. But I like how easy it is to just kind of like wash this thing off and clean it. And I like the look of it. So, not sure that I need it. I may end up putting more on there, but I do like this. And then my front hatch, which came with the Gheenoe. That's just got like my safety stuff, life preservers, paddle, fire extinguisher, first aid kit, my ropes, my docking ropes, some extra just paracord, and then I keep like my registration and stuff in this Magpul Daka pouch, and then my Coast Guard safety stuff is also in there. Haven't done the nav lights. I think I'm gonna replace those because I did test them, they don't work, but when I do the bilge pump and stuff, I'll replace those. Nose cap, which you saw before, and then I got new numbers, and then the Gheenoe sticker. These also came from Custom Gheenoe with that cushion. So I just ordered it all, went and picked it up, but like I said, they will ship it to you. So you can order it, even if you're not near them. Pretty stoked how it turned out, as far as like the colors and everything. It's honestly even better than I was imagining, but pretty straightforward, nothing too complicated, especially if you got a game plan beforehand. But highly recommend, you know, rebuilding one of these. They're super useful, not very expensive, especially if you already have an outboard. You can pick one up for a couple $100. So how I installed this grab bar, it's super solid. This has a false floor, so I just drilled a pilot hole, and then I took the drill bit and stuck it down in there until it hit bottom. Marked how much space I had. I ended up going with 3/4 inch stainless screws, which gives me enough space at the bottom so that if the bottom flexes, it's not going to hit the screw. And then I set those in 3M 5200, which is a permanent bond. Permanent, you know, you could get it off if you really wanted to, but it keeps it really, really solid. That's what those screws are set in, and I just filled this whole foot with the 3M as well, so that keeps it nice and stable. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on was, if you have an outboard like this, you definitely need to have it attached to your Gheenoe somehow. I just bolted it from the mounting points, but you could, you know, if you've got a jack plate, you can bolt it to the jack plate, or if you wanted to put like an eyelet somewhere mounted in here and then run some sort of wire or something around so that if it pops off, it stays with the Gheenoe. I have seen them do that on a Gheenoe, so you definitely want to have that secure, because that would not be fun to lose your motor. But super happy with this thing. It's been a lot of fun. Lots of fish have been caught, and yeah, I just can't wait to keep using it. Let me know if you have any questions. Appreciate y'all watching.